Sobek, though.
Sobek, though. I want to see him again. P's and B's, pretty please. Sobek, give him to me now. Left side, Cringe crew. They get first pick. I want to see that first pick back. Yeah, that one worked. That one didn't work as much.
I have to go to the bathroom right now.
You're just thinking about all that lurking in the waters?
Oh, yeah, I know. And I'm drinking water, too. That's not the best. Cringe crew don't want to deal with Al Kwong. Did make a couple good plays, especially early on, Bobat. Pretty proficient on it. Raijin going to be banned away as well. And Cringe crew going to continue the target bans, locking away Bobat.
Second ban coming out from Torpedo. Waiting on it.
Susano.
Thinking about the Susano, and it will be.
Susano.
For sure. He's been played a handful of times.
Twice.
50%, yeah.
50% win rate.
He won one.
He lost one.
See, I didn't have to do the math there. I just knew it. I mean, you know, 10% is what, 10? So 50% winds up being 1, right? Just sort of guess it, right? Just get it.
Just going to let you drown.
It's going to be the Athena. I wish it was the, What god do I wish that was, Kevin? What god do I wish that was, Kevin?
Just going to let you drown by yourself in this one.
I wish it was Sobek.
Wow.
If you didn't know.
Wow.
I'm really I'm really rooting for it. I want to dial.
Athena first picked Torpedo. Going to respond with Nemesis here. I expect they could be looking for their mid as well, and it is going to be Janus. So a lot of mobility coming out from those two characters. Some Nemesis burst potential. I'm so done right now.
Nemesis is a great choice against Cringe crew. They have the Athena. If you want to see the Sobek solo, Nemesis is going to do fantastic against that. So might
they're
dissuade Cringe crew.
expecting the Sobek in the solo. They're expecting the Deathiance Beck.
Expect the Beck.
The Beck. The Death Beck.
Respect and expect the Beck.
Sobekians. Sobekians.
Sobekians. I like it.
Scylla, Thor locked in. Cringe crew. Pretty deadly 3v3 right there. Thor, Scylla, a ton of setup combo, especially with the Athena there as well. So much CC and Purification Burner. This is one of the strongest 3v3 cores you could have outside of maybe Bacchus, and that's Bacchus just does more damage where Athena's going to be able to set up easier.
Ares is going to work fantastically against the 3v3 comp that Cringe crew has perfected,
Yes.
though. Athena, the dash taunt will be neutralized. Scylla won't be able to escape with Sentinel as easily, and Thor teleporting to his hammer, not allowed if Ares just dishes out those chains.
Bans coming through. Hunter's targeted away right now. Neither team has a Hunter yet, so Apollo on her and Ho Yi taken away, and no Guan Yu again. Mox is like his laning phase was really rough, but he knows how to team fight, and just the healing extended that game for Torpedo.
Yeah, it was okay. It's just Cringe crew not wanting to deal with Guan Yu. The game went longer than it should have. The Artemis pick will be selected one more time.
Always dangerous to pick Artemis into Thor, just because the surprise ganks are so good, and if the Thor can time the Purification well enough, like the Artemis can't even get away, right? The board comes out, you hit Purification, and you can just chase her down until she gets enough damage to two-shot you. But that's pretty late into the game.
So all that's missing from Cringe crew is a solo lane. Sobek. Nah, it'll be the Chronos. And actually, with the Bellona pickup for Deathiance, Chronos will be the hunter. You think that Chronos can? You think that the hunter role can be opened up to Sobek? His passive is based on basic attacks, Kevin.
Did it change to abilities? It's
Nope.
abilities now.
Well, it still builds up sauces.
Yeah, it's abilities.
Well, Sobek's still looking for him. Last pick for Torpedo. Jungle Sobek. Hebo! Habwa, excuse me. When he's played on the big stage, his name is Habwa.
Look at that. 0-0-0.
He has been before.
Picked once, just not enough to breach into that 1%. And the person it was picked by was Mox. And so, funny enough, a lot of people thought this was an accident when he picked it a couple weeks ago, and because he got completely trounced on it. Yeah. But it was not an accident. This is legitimately a god that he has a high success rate in scrims.
I mean, you say scrims. That. We had Mox on the interview that day, and I said, "Hey, why the Habwa?" And he goes, "It's next to Hercules, mate." I'm not going to say much more.
Is that why it was?
So that's what he said. But with the second follow-up pick, there's got to be something in it, you know? There's got to be something to it.
You know what?
It is next to the Hercules.
But why would you pick it into this comp?
Do you reckon he made the mistake twice?
Why would you pick it into this comp, though? Thor, Athena.
I mean,
and you're a Habwa solo against a Bellona.
what?
If Cringe Crew don't camp Moex into 10 deaths at 5 minutes, they are playing this game wrong.
One of the earliest videos you can find on my YouTube channel is before I was doing anything in the Smite community, right? I was just playing Smite with my friends. We were grouped up as 5. We were going up against, I think it was actually like a streamer on Smite Game or something.
Okay.
And I wanted to pick Thanatos because that's my only good god.
Yeah,
and I was like, all right, my turn to pick. Boom, slam, Thanatos, lock. I picked Vamana because he's right next to him. So I feel that, Moex. I feel that. If you accidentally pick the Habwa because it's next to the Hercules, I feel that.
I was in a scrim once, and what was it? I had been playing mid all day, like before the scrims, just like having fun and casuals, and then as support I picked Vampiric Shroud instead of, and I didn't notice for like 5 minutes, like, why is my gold so, oh, I messed up.
You're playing that support Agni, or you're playing...
I think it was Athena.
Oh, you sure you weren't playing...
I don't know what you're going for
Sobek?
here. Oh, that's what you're going for. Wow, surprised. No, I'm
I'm
just kidding.
really upset we don't have a Sobek in this game, by the way.
Game though has started. We're a minute in.
Barely.
Man, this went fast. Left-hand side, EmilZy actually getting double changed. If the third one hits,
Ooh.
could spell death, but Murrdurr was split away from him because of the time stop.
Can't find the follow-up there. Torpedo seemed to have a little bit of pressure in this lane. Shaggyshenk Chronos, though, has been one of the more devastating picks in Season 3. He's been able to just...
For sure. He actually didn't use it a lot in the middle of the split, and that's when they started finding a ton of losses. But early on, I mean, Shaggy was absolutely killing it on. I think he had like an 8.0 KDA on that god through like 5 games or something absurd like that.
So Habwa versus the Bellona, realistically, this matchup is interesting, largely because it features Habwa.
So the big thing is that Deathiance probably doesn't have a lot of practice against this, and what he needs to do is basically accept getting poked out early to gain massive lane control and poke out Moex. Unfortunately, though, he wasn't able to do that, and now his potion count is kind of low, so it starts to become dangerous.
Yeah, just popping another HP pot there.
Also, Moex is on point with those.
Yeah, knocking up during the bludgeon bounce. That's important.
If Moex misses one of those, this lane just plummets into Bellona's favor.
It's so intense. And there's a surprise gank. You mentioned it over there as far as the Artemis and how dangerous that would be. But it also
if Deathiance is 5, that's a kill.
Yeah, because the stun comes out,
yeah,
for sure.
If Repi waits just like a hair longer there.
One wave. Not even the full wave. Just
or if EmilZy was 5.
The hot Athena
and
rotation.
this gank failed, but I expect there to be many more. Probably, I'm going to guess level 8 is the next gank.
I mean, that's what you do to a Habwa. You just gank him over and over again. He's very susceptible to death because his only escape mechanism is really the ultimate. I guess you can count the wet paper, as Hindu Man would say, but, I mean, it's just not as effective as you need it to be. There's no dash.
Deathiance here, waiting around. And Moex with no ult there, not as dangerous anymore. And Deathiance, yeah, I'm a little bit surprised he's not just going on Moex here.
There he is, just dashing forward.
Especially because Moex has no mana. And he has Bludgeon up. That's not going to be enough to kill, but...
He brought down to half HP. It's rough.
Don't do it.
He's doing it. And there's help from the support as well. Deathiance looking for the first blood. Going to get knocked up. Taking the tower. There comes Nemesis. And Moex starts off the party with the first blood. Rotation from the rest of Torpedo. And Bobat finds the second.
Like, if you're going to do that, you kind of got to charge the Athena ult. Obviously, you'll give Moex a little bit time to respond, but he should still be in the stun range. So Athena ult comes, then you ult on top of the Hebo, and then during that stun duration, Athena hits, you can taunt him right after, guarantee the dough.
Repi finds 2 to stun, and Murrdurr is going to get spun on, but the stun is strong, and the basic is stronger. 1 kill going the way of Cringe Crew, looking for the second. Kero's up in the monster, finds the kill onto Gamehunter. No one else around to really take this damage too. So Kero's just going to cruise and hit the red buff with the basic.
No. He wanted to hit it with the ult. Didn't do it in time, though, and Cringe Crew starting to respond back here. Torpedo, though, are in a lead. 700 gold. They got that first blood, and the Hebo has been allowed to get ahead of the Bellona, which is nothing you really want to do, because Hebo still has a lot of damage, and it's going to be very hard for Deathiance to kind of wrestle back control, especially once Moex starts to get some items online. He has Shoes of the Magi. He could be looking at a Dynasty Plate Helm next, which is what I would suspect. Give him a lot more pin.
Yeah, I mean, Habwa is a character that doesn't exist if he's behind, and unfortunately for his opponents, exists all too much if he's ahead. It's really just a razor's edge there. There really is no
Speaking of
perfect
Moex,
spot.
walks over there. Cringe Crew are having none of him right now. They're like, nah, we're not. we tried to gank him twice.
Walk away.
Never again.
Walk away. He's above us.
See, that I wonder if that is going to get in Cringe Crew's mind, where if they had one gank attempt that failed, and then the second one turned around on top of them, where it's like, all right, let's just leave him alone to farm. When they can just execute onto him pretty well. You can see EmilZy, all he has to do is ult the Thor, and the Thor comes down.
Yeah, Repikas walking over. He's spotted out, though. The knockup not going to find it. Now there's the double tap, though. One hit.
I mean, if Repi hits that double tap,
yeah,
Moex is done in the lane. He has no potions. Like, he's going to be half health. All that needs to happen is Deathiance just ults on top of him, and he's going to be forced out. And he has no teleport.
Where do you think the build path for Moex is?
Damage.
Just straight damage?
He might go into Breastplate as well. He might go kind of tanky, hobble early, and then build into the damage later on.
Might make sense. Repikas certainly showed that he wants to pay a little bit more attention here. Ha-ha! That's all EmilZy said. Ha-ha! Just giving the old, ha-ha! Reach through the wall.
You know Loki's Vanish sounds like poof?
I did not know that. There's one pull, at least. Nobody's going to get pulled. The ultimates come out from both players in the mid lane, and Murrdurr comes down right on top.
Oh, the wall.
Trying to make it happen, and Kero with the kill on the Korinyo. Took a couple too many tower shots there, the mid laner. And Murrdurr's
He's gonna die. It's just a matter of time right now. Repi hits it with the hammer, and that was just so beautiful from Repikas. He comes crashing down, hits all three members, and then the tectonic rift is perfect because you could actually see Korinyo try and portal himself out. Unfortunately, he was on the wrong side of the wall, and then just right before he was able to get away as well, Kero hits 3 critical auto attacks on a mage, which are not always easy because they do have a slower travel time.
And yeah, it's just a little bit out of you're used to just slaying with the giant abilities. So Moex here, looking for EmilZy, gonna get the knock up. The water hand's not even coming out just yet. It's the ult first, and there it is. Water cannon secures the first kill, or the second kill, excuse me, for the Hobwa.
And that was just EmilZy backing right on a ward. Probably placed by Moex because he knows he needs to play it safe here against this Thor. So warding pretty heavily and just catching EmilZy on the lazy back in now. The invade coming up from Torpedo right now.
Looks like he is going to be building, he being Moex, will be building into the breastplate, going for a little bit of defense early on. He knows that he's going to be a target for a lot of people, and that's why Torpedo's looking at this Tier 1 tower. They want to give a lot of breathing room to this Hobwa.
And it should be free here. Deathiance not going to be able to stop it. No rotation coming out from Kero. He was able to poke out Korinyo there in the middle, but nothing going to come of it. And now the blue buff invade coming out on the right-hand side. But instead, the team's looking to kill the Janus.
Not going to have anything come of it, though.
Oh, they didn't get the tower on the right? I guess they just don't have enough damage for it.
Yeah.
The Nim, Ares, and Hobwa.
Hobwa does nothing to a tower, basically.
Oh, I like this. Using the Sentinel as vision right there. EmilZy trying to get in range of the taunt, but not going to happen. Instead, Repi's looking to cut him off.
That's a smart play, the Sentinel vision. Repikas forced into the ultimate. Athena's going to come down there, though. Right on top of Murrdurr, taking out some of his HP. Thor, on the other hand, going to play it safe.
I think Repi was debating coming back down because he could have got the stun and maybe hammered out, but would have been really risky. And Moex here, forced out. Despite having a 1,000 gold lead onto Deathiance, Deathiance still getting the better of him.
I mean, that's the Hobwa. He is one of the most fragile gods in the entire game.
But then he can just kill you.
The turnaround potential from Hobwa is gigantic.
And he's going into the breastplate, so this is definitely an item he needs to pick up. Going to give him CDR as well as the massive protections, which he's going to need, especially against Repikas' Thor. He hasn't taken a trip over to see Moex in quite some time, but you have to expect it's going to happen soon.
Exactly. Anytime you're playing Hobwa, it's sort of like when you're playing Anubis, where, listen, I'm going to be ganked, guys. It's going to happen. How do you respond to those ganks? We saw how he responded in the first exchange, and it certainly worked out well.
And Torpedo relinquished a lot of their leads so far, only ahead by about 300 gold. No one's looked at the Gold Fury just yet, heading into 9 minutes into the match. Moex still pushed him. I'm just really surprised we haven't seen more attention over to Moex. Like, even just forcing his ult or forcing his purification, because then Deathiance can just, for the next 90 seconds, just beat down the Hobwa under tower, force him back, and it gets his farm that much behind. Instead, he's kind of just been sitting around the middle lane, waiting for something to happen or trying to catch someone rotating out of the jungle.
Yeah, Repi's been paying a lot of attention to Korinyo. on this Janus. Big part of what was able to be positive for Torpedo last game was the ISIS, so just paying attention to the players that really impacted.
So Repi finally comes over to the soul lane, and Moex literally just backed. The second he's like, all right, time to gank. Oh, he backed. Well, that's unfortunate.
That's rough.
Just going to share a wave, though. Left-hand side of EmilZy, trying to find Gamehunter, maybe, but Gamehunter knows he's hanging around there. They have wards, so just splits the wave, and here comes an invade onto the speed buff.
And yeah, this one's going to be...
Repi's in the sky, though.
Oh, he lands, but it's a little
whip.
too late. Repi's joined by Athena, and the chain to the brain makes sure that EmilZy can't dash forward, but it's not going to stop the hammer. And EmilZy takes the final hit to take out Murrdurr.
EmilZy turning around, though. He wants to get aggressive onto this one, but it looks like Torpedo's already called retreat, and just really well played by Cringe crew there. I don't even think they burned their purifications. The team knew that they had enough damage to finish off the area before the Ares before the no escape goes off, which is very important.
Taunt onto the jungler, and no follow-up, but the jungler is going to follow up himself. NinjaBobat tries to turn, slows out one, and chases 3 members of Cringe crew off of his tier 1 tower in the mid.
Deathiance is in a little bit of trouble here. He's not in kill range just yet, but one more set of abilities, and then he could be comboed by Moex. And Moex continuing to just push Deathiance back to base right now. Even though the teleport's online for Deathiance, still about 1,300 gold behind.
And it's going to be on cooldown, so Deathiance not able to join the party right away. Moex just going to knock up the Athena. I don't know if he has the timer on the teleport.
Maybe. I'm not sure. I mean, Deathiance just going to walk back in. And Moex has also gone into this blink. You see this a lot from Hebo players because one of the problems they have is closing the gap, right? They have a ton of damage, but Water Cannon is incredibly close range. So just having those blink knockups, especially late game, that's really what it's for. Once you have enough damage where your Water Spout and your ultimate can kill someone, you'll just see them blink combo.
It's also Habwa ultimate puts you in a really terrible spot. It's like Sobek dash, but even worse because you're not tanky like Sobek. So what you'll see a lot of the time is the Habwa will blink behind the enemy team and then ult forward towards his own team, putting himself in a safe spot afterwards. So a lot of applications for this blink to come out on the Habwa.
Gold's Fury starting to be looked at, and Repikas looking at dual lane. But he's going to be splitting this wave instead. So Repi hasn't really been making too many aggressive moves. He had the single gank onto Moex, and ever since then, it's kind of just been responding to Torpedo's aggression. It really seems like Cringe crew are looking to extend this game out as late as possible, which could be good. They do have the Scylla, they have the Chronos as well. The later the game goes, it's going to get better for them. The only problem is Torpedo, their comp, individually their gods get better. Maybe as a unit, not so much, because they don't really have a ton of peel. Torpedo's kind of just kill or be killed.
Bobat with a strong shield, heals up a little bit thanks to Kero. And Murrdurr doesn't have that luxury. A lot of damage put onto him. Repikas blocks him in a bad spot, but there's the Nemesis ultimate in response. Kero finishes off Murrdurr. Repikas has to play it safe on the backside. NinjaBobat trying to dash away. EmilZy not going to find the taunt, but Gamehunter finds the jungler, and Repikas takes a spill.
And no relics available. Thor can't get over the wall in time here, and now Gamehunter just swinging away, but Deathiance has made his rotation, looking for the bludgeon damage, and it's good, but he can't chase onto the tower. Maybe Shaggy can. Oh, the time stop and rift were just off the mark, but Moex has made the slow rotation, the blink, but the counter blink is good.
All of the stuff from Moex just misses the target. Nothing finds a home, and Moex just going to back.
That was a really well-timed blink from Kero, recognizing what Moex is trying to do and just quickly getting away, because he probably falls there if Moex can hit that ult.
If Moex hits any of his abilities, there's at least one dead there, maybe even 2. That's a level 14 Habwa, but unable to really just find the accuracy with the abilities.
This Torpedo lineup, just Habwa, Nemesis, Janus, Ares, and Artemis, there is 0 peel. It's just about killing the opponent.
Oh, yeah.
Can we kill them faster than we can be killed?
I mean, this is Ares the composition, right? When you talk about Ares, you're always like, no, he doesn't have peel, but he's got a lot of damage, and that can dissuade you from attacking. The entire comp does that. They're just going to fight you until you try to go away. That's exactly what just happens to Thor. 3 players collapse on him. He's forced out, but Korinyo waiting on the backside gets the brunt of the force. Kero, however, taken out by NinjaBobat, so it's a 1-for-1 thus far. Tier 1 tower still being aggressed on as the jump forward from Deathiance, and the ultimate, NinjaBobat fighting Shaggy on the backside, losing that duel, so he dashes away.
But Murrdurr actually getting chased out here in the middle lane. It doesn't seem like either of the teams wants to continue up this this pace. 14 minutes and 30 seconds in. Actually, EmilZy looking to get aggressive here. He's got Shaggyshenk behind him. NinjaBobat recognizes it, and he's going to dash away. It's just going to be a counter ward for now. But Haubois doing a fair amount of work so far in these fights when he's left untouched. Right now, level 15, 202, has the breastplate online, working on the obsidian shard and topping the damage charts.
Things still all even here, folks. 15 minutes on the clock. 2 kills in the lead for Cringe Crew, and the gold basically all tied up. NinjaBobat going to make his way into his own jungle and secure the red buff. But I think it's time for teams to start thinking about the Gold Fury.
I mean, I'm surprised we haven't seen that just yet. Neither team seems to have a grasp of the game just yet. No one has any defined advantage. It's been pretty back and forth, and it's really only been Cringe Crew only had by the kills, I think, because of Torpedo overextending into fights. It's been Repikas hitting 3 members with his ultimate, and sometimes players getting a little bit too anxious there, like Korinyo in the mid lane, pushed up pretty far by himself.
Yeah, really what Torpedo's looking for, which is why I ask for the Gold Fury. I mean, if Korinyo and Moex just choose a target, somebody's dying. But everybody seems to be just spread out for Torpedo, and Cringe Crew quite the opposite. The grouping from Torpedo allow them to make these plays. Blink in from Ares is going to grab through the chains, and only one gets pulled, and the power over the top for the mage, not going to find a target. Repikas in the air, and he's going to land aggressively, but no target, so him and his team will retreat.
The Hunters have made their rotation, but a little bit too late as Cringe Crew has already backed off, and that was them just trying to set up. Unfortunately, though, Kero whiffs his ult completely. If he connects that one, maybe they can swing the fight in their favor, but Bobat able to just kind of juke out of it, just barely.
Shaggyshenk is still on the left-hand side.
This is really aggressive.
Everybody from Torpedo has made the rotation. Looking for Kero. Murrdurr gets credit with the dot on the chain.
That was greed. That was pure greed. You can see EmilZy channeling his ult onto Kero. Yep. They walk up. There's just a couple hits on the tower, but they don't respect that Torpedo's around. And now, with that man advantage, Torpedo's going to be able to look for this Gold Fury because of it. Yeah,
Kero is a big part of what prevented Torpedo from looking at the Gold Fury. I'm a monster, Crush, both very devastating when it comes to taking out a Gold Fury. And the burst coming out from Torpedo, huge. Already down to 10%. The Gold Fury going to go the way of Torpedo, it looks like. Cringe Crew trying to make their name. Murrdurr takes out EmilZy right quick. Cringe Crew on the backside as NinjaBobat picks up one as well. Repi and Shaggy the only ones alive. And Torpedo win the team fight. They win the objective. And now they're sitting up by almost 3,000 gold in a quick swing. And if they take out this tier 1, that will make it 3K. But Repikas going to play defense on the backside.
And I love what Torpedo is doing here. They know they don't need all 5 members to take this. So instead, send 2 over, strip the speed away from Repikas, and get even further ahead because of it. There's no back harpies, but they are going to find Repi under his tier 2. And Torpedo... Okay, I almost thought they were going to look to push this, but they're going to choose to back off. You can see Shaggyshenk on the left-hand side, split pushing by himself.
Looking for more jungle to be taken away. Not going to find it, as the red buff hasn't yet spawned. So Torpedo going to retreat.
And now, Torpedo starting to find a lead. Not the most massive, 3,000, but it's only... But we're 18 minutes in. You can see some of the third items being completed there. Korinyo working on what appears to be a Soul Reaver, or could be Book of Thoth as well. We saw Cheerio do that last game.
Oh yeah, the double stack?
The double
stack. A lot
stack.
of damage.
I mean, this is a single stack if he goes it. I expect it to be Soul Reaver.
Expected, I would say. It's able to deal out that huge burst potential. That's pretty much what Torpedo's lineup does. Moex and NinjaBobat can help facilitate that.
And red buff picked up. So, where's the Sobek? That's what I'm wondering.
That's what I've been asking the whole game, Kevin. I want to see the Sobek. I hope we see some Sobek tomorrow.
North America, Randozos could pull it out. Who else is playing? LG and Envy?
I want to see Skeleton Beck.
Yeah, what about Dust Beck?
No, don't be silly. Sobek can't play Hunter.
Yeah, man. Don't knock it till you try it, Tom.
That's true. All right, you know
Don't
what?
knock it till you try it.
I'm down.
Play Athena in like any role, basically.
Pretty much. I mean, she's got the reach passive. Works out.
Shaggyshenk baiting himself right now. Ult's going to come out, but Gamehunter, not enough damage. I mean, that's a win for Shaggy. He forces all Gamehunter's ult there. Not going to be up for another 90 seconds. Shaggy should be able to go back to base, heal up, and he'll be fine. Right-hand side, though, Moex looking for Repikas. Does a fair amount of damage, but not enough burst right now.
Yeah, I can't find the ultimate. It looks like he missed that. I'm pretty sure he did.
No, he hit him for about 500 damage. Just, he's gone into the breastplate, so he doesn't really have a ton of burst damage right now.
Well played by Murrdurr to wait for the Athena to come through. Gets the double pull because of it. And now the aggression coming out from onto Cringe Crew from Torpedo. Not going to be enough to find a kill, but certainly enough to get some breathing
That was
room.
really smart from EmilZy. He knows that he's about to get pulled, so what he does is he pops sprint the second, just a millisecond before he gets pulled. So once that CC ends, his team's going to have that bonus movement speed to try and get out instead of waiting and maybe not having it. Even half a second is a ton.
Also smart play by Murrdurr to wait for the EmilZy to come down to grab the double grab. Murrdurr in some trouble, taking the tower. Probably more so than he wanted to, as he gets rooted by Kero there. Now the spin around from Repikas to clear the wave, and Cringe Crew will chase the enemy into the jungle.
And the baits are real. Once again, Meditation popped the team. They're on their own ward, and EmilZy actually going to be the one trying to find Bobat here. The rest of Torpedo still waiting around the corner.
Backside coming as the mage. You can see Janus trying to find a target. Not going to look for it just yet. EmilZy by himself, though. Murrdurr going to drop the flames on him. Nothing of consequence as Torpedo secure the enemy speed buff. Murrdurr in some trouble. He gets crushed and he gets taken out by EmilZy. The knockup's going to be off the mark as Repikas gets stunned for a moment, but the ultimate won't, and the jungler falls.
And Kero, oh, he needed to hit that root. He's going to fall as well, and that damage, the crush, is it going to come through? Mox turns his attention to Deathiance, who is running away from the rest of Torpedo, and he's going to fall as well. Shaggyshenk finally making the rotation, looking to kill Mox, but he's not going to have the burst just yet. Rewinds, puts himself in a little bit of a better spot, but his team, it's already been collapsed. 3 players dead, only Ares falling for Torpedo.
And Torpedo's going to take a 5,000 gold lead, trying to push it even further, and Cringe Crew trying to mitigate that, stopping in his tracks, but he'll walk away no problem. And Shaggyshenk now just sitting back.
And Torpedo looking really good. I mean, Mox, level 19, 4-0 and 5. He's the one that's been dangerous for Cringe Crew, and they let this happen, honestly. They tried to gank him twice, and they never once went back to him.
Well, as we said, Mox has played this Habwa once in the past, and it really didn't work out, because when you play Habwa, he either winds up going 4-0 and 5 or 0-4 and 0. Last time around, we saw the other side of that. This time around, level 19, 3 levels above the opposition. Same with the jungler. And just finishing off that Soul Reaver, there's going to be a lot more damage. Right now, he's 5k in the lead above anybody. Number 2's his Ares, by the way.
What? All right, Murrdurr. All right, and that's a lot of it because of his ults. We've seen him, I don't know, 6-7 times get multi-man ultimates, and even if he doesn't get the pull, he at least gets the damage, and it starts adding up, and it pokes players out and gives opportunities for your team to force something else. And speaking of forcing, EmilZy going to find a taunt here.
EmilZy going to be in trouble, though, with the surroundment of NinjaBobat and Murrdurr showing up as well. Gamehunter on the left-hand side. Repi's going to get slowed thanks to the volley, but nothing going to actually happen from this engagement. Cringe Crew walk away. Torpedo have the positioning, and they're going to start the gold.
Hebo in the middle lane by himself, though. Just trying to cause a distraction. You can actually see Kero and Deathiance are pulled to it. And Torpedo, they're trying to bait up a fight. You can cleanly see this. They have no hesitation. Oh, EmilZy, he just walked into a trap.
The shell was popped because he knew it was coming. Torpedo now coming from the right-hand side, invading onto the lane. Shaggyshenk has his ultimate available, but if he chooses to rewind, he's in the clutches of everybody on Torpedo. You saw Muggs waiting on the outside for that. Not going to pull the trigger just yet. Korinyo will. No ultimate hit.
Deathiance here, getting surrounded, and it's going to be a 2-man pull. Shaggyshenk does have rewind, and he's going to be fine. Deathiance surging forward here, a little bit off the mark, but taking so much damage from Gamehunter. Pops his meditation, make sure to stay healthy, and here comes Mox under the tower.
Run.
He finds Shaggyshenk. He's going to turn around, but immediately the response is immediate. Mox falls, and now Deathiance here should fall as well.
Did what he had to. Mox chose a target, took it out immediately. 3 members alive for Cringe Crew, and Torpedo looking to bring that lower, but Kero has different plans. Gamehunter takes out the Scylla before any more follow-up damage could be dealt. I thought we were going to see a one-shot Tripskis.
That was 4 players rooted out, all inside. That was a direct hit, but Torpedo maybe saving the game right there, hitting those sanctuaries just in time. I mean, you could see one used coming out from Bobat, one from Korinyo. I mean, Korinyo for sure was dead, and there's the reset. That's all he needed.
The amount of damage that came out from Kero in that team fight was intense. That Scylla was beneath 10k before we saw that team fight go out. Now sitting up 12,300 damage. I mean, that's a nice little swing there if you're rooting for the Scylla.
And Mox in that fight actually baits himself. So he gets the guaranteed kill on a Shaggyshenk, but he's he has nothing to do now, right? He has Blink and Purification as his relic, so he's going to be stuck behind the tower. What happens is all of Cringe Crew turn around to deal with Moex, and then that's when Torpedo just start piling in, and they're able to chip away and get enough damage off, and you saw them continue to chase, get rooted out, almost turned on, but the reaction time was good enough to not let that Scylla reset.
Yeah, Moex wants to continue on throughout the fight, obviously. But his goal is pretty much he is an assassin. He's a mage assassin. Not as literal as an Al Kwang, I would say. But
nah, he's a mage assassin.
His job is to just eliminate one person.
Yeah.
And the kill, the kill that Moex wound up picking up allowed his team to go ahead, surge forward, and pick up a tier 1 tower. So Moex dies there. Doesn't have a Doom Orb, so not a huge deal. But he did have 5 kills without death. This time around, Moex executes and finds his target. So
and now Gold Fury, I don't know if it's being looked at by Torpedo, but they're starting to surround it. And Cringe Crew, the later this game goes, the better it is for them, because right now it's just this burst composition from Torpedo. If Cringe Crew can stack up enough protections while being respectful of Bobat and that Nemesis, burning these relics before fights happens when you catch someone out, going to be very important.
I mean, EmilZy and Shaggyshenk late game is going to.
I mean, Kero, I'm looking more at Kero, right? If he could stay at range,
that's
and he
what
can find a triple root, right? Then burns their purification. All you have to rely on is EmilZy, right? He's probably going to get one shot if he goes aggressive by himself, but if they have no purification and you can taunt 2 members, like Hebo and Janus should just die off of that.
Exactly. Kero is actually who I meant, but between Kero and Shaggy on the other side of things does have some good team fight control with the time stop being, I don't know, 17 lanes wide, but there's a big chunk of damage thanks to the Soul Reaver. But Shaggy's able to just control these games on Chronos. We've seen him do it this season in the past.
And now Torpedo here with a pretty good lead. They're going to actually watch Kero back, and Kero's like, nope, 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 nope. I've seen you blink on people before. And Moex did have blink. He probably would have went for that if Kero decided to continue to lazy back in lane.
Yeah, I mean, half HP, that's a dead Scylla.
He doesn't even need
Ultimate is available for Moex. But yeah, just to knock him into water hands, you're probably good. Torpedo going to start the Fire Giant, well aware that Cringe Crew want to go ahead and fight them. Torpedo sitting up about 7,000 gold or so.
Oh, this is a good taunt. Oh no, EmilZy actually holding it, going to get stunned out. Repikas comes down as well, and Fire Giant, it's still pulled. I think they're looking for it.
Yeah, the Fire Giant going to be taken out by Torpedo. Cringe Crew don't get the steal. But there's NinjaBobat in some trouble. Good stun coming out from Repikas, and Moex finds one with the target and then hits him with the water hands. Kero going to go down, and that's 2 for Moex before he gets taken out eventually. 3 alive, 4 alive for Torpedo, and EmilZy, the only one up with a Cringe Crew jersey on. And Torpedo going to take the Fire Giant buff they have and walk right on down the middle.
I don't think Torpedo's going to be able to end, but they are going to be able to clear this map out. There's the tower. Middle Phoenix going to be pressured as well.
Murrdurr's looking for the end. I don't know if they have it, but Murrdurr's looking for it.
They
with
want
the
it.
speed,
They're going for it.
They're going
30
for
seconds.
it 100%. They've got 30 seconds before anybody really shows up of consequence, and there's the immediate kill onto the only one alive. EmilZy is going to take a spill here right before he enters the fountain. Titan's got 10k HP, Kevin. No one's alive. All right, this one is going the way of Torpedo, so they are still alive as far as their dreams are concerned. Not quite go to DreamHack, but still alive and kicking. They're not going to go quietly into the night. They will not surrender without a fight. I'm not going to quote the whole Independence Day speech, but they did good. They did well. Congratulations to Torpedo, splitting with Cringe Crew.
I'm going to...
Yes.
I think we could see a 3-way tie if Panthera 2-0 leftovers on Monday. Between
That's so
Fnatic,
much fun.
Leftovers, and Torpedo. Because now, Leftovers are 8 wins, Torpedo are 8, and Fnatic are 8, and there's no clear winner. We'll take a look at the standings later here, but I mean, that game was just really well played coming out from Moex. Cringe Crew not putting enough pressure onto him. He got a couple levels ahead, and then he just comes through. And Torpedo have 9 wins. Okay.
Yeah, I think we saw that last year.
No, that's not even possible. 9 and 20, that's not even possible.
I think we saw that last year with how Hell worked out, where if you didn't pay any attention to Hell,
you let her get late game.
oh well. And right there, nobody paid attention to the Habwa because last time Moex played it, it didn't work out because everyone paid attention to the Habwa. This time around, they said, oh, it didn't work out last time, no big deal. Quickly, he's 5-0-6, finds his first death because he's going to blink behind you and then ult to isolate y'all and take out the tower. Moex did his job, and that allowed Cringe Crew to wind up on the bottom of this one.
And like I said there, we could see a potential 3-way tie in relegations. The final European game of the spring split is going to be on Monday. That's going to be Leftovers versus the world champs Panthera. If they drop both games, there is no clear winner, and we will have a 3-way tiebreaker for relegations.
So one of my most played gods is actually Habwa. Thanatos, I have 5,000 worshippers on because because that's ridiculous. But from level 1 to level 30,
Bet
all I did was play Habwa.
I bet you have I bet you Loki's one of your other highest players.
No, he's one of my lowest.
Because you're playing all the scumbags. This was poor execution coming out from Cringe Crew, and Moek's doing a really good job of turning it around with the help of his team there. Not only getting portaled out, but NinjaBobat coming in as well to help lock down those players.
He's just such an exciting character. And the reason I bring up my own personal play, because I very rarely do that, is because he's fun to watch and play. And I think that just watching Moex here, he's able to deal out such large damage, interrupt the bludgeon, and then just keep on keeping on. I think Moex having a lot of fun here was very important for him in the squad.
And Portal's out there in this situation, and this was the last play where he hits 2 people, actually. Not only killing Kero, but he hit Shaggy as well, then finishes him off. Repikas and EmilZy able to combine for the kill, but I mean, they've taken so much damage from the Habwa. There is no way they're going to be able to win, and then Torpedo just barreled down the mid lane, finish off the Titan to potentially force their way out of relegation. That's going to be really exciting.
The double knockup coming out from Moex there at the end. Very, very exciting. Him and Shaggyshenk did a very good job as well. On that Chronos, as I said, this was his calling card earlier in the season. We didn't see it so much later on. Here he's on the Ho-Yi, but Ho-Yi and the Chronos, so important.
Yeah, and that max range double bounce was so nice. Shaggyshenk had a pretty respectable set here. Obviously, game 2 not as successful, but his team is fairly far behind. Just great positioning coming out from him right here. You can see he's very low, but he's just looking for these bounce shots. He knows that the damage from just the ricochet there isn't enough to kill Korinyo. It's that he lines up the angle that quickly and finds the extra damage.
Yeah, the ultimate was good. Games are fun. Whatever. Can we? Is there? I'm gonna put production on the spot here. I'm gonna ask for. Do we have any Sobek clips?
Why would we have Sobek?
I want to see. That's not a Sobek clip. That's not a Sobek clip. That's me.
You so look like the alien guy there too.
Oh,
that is.
Man.
That can we see that again? That was absolutely perfect.
I really wanted to see Sobek. I really want, and just
That's
so
perfect.
you know, they set me up for that. They said, "Hey, you look like the guy from Aliens with your hair," and I said, "Okay, I'm gonna do it." And then so it's a little push and pull. Is there any chance that we have any Sobek clips? Can we see? Can you put Sobek's God card on the screen? I'm in such a Sobek mood that I want to see some of it. No, not gonna do it. All right, production's just gonna leave you out to dry. This was a fun day, actually. We got to see some fun stuff coming up from EmilZy in the squad. But more importantly, if you didn't catch game number 1 or set number 1, check it out. Hungry for more. Not only do they win, but they win so well, they're going to DreamHack.
And they're going to be joining the likes of Panthera and Paradigm from Europe, as well as 3 North American teams. And you can go too as well. Head over to dreamhack.se to purchase your tickets right now. It's going to be 9 international teams for the Smite Masters, 250K on the line, or 200. Yeah,
yep.
You know what I mean. And then Paladins Founders Tournament's going to be there as well. 4 teams, $100,000. It's going to be incredibly exciting.
Yeah, we've announced some of the details as well. So we're going to have 3 teams from NA, 3 teams from EU, Latin America, Brazil, and China will also make an appearance. My buddy Zimstar is going to come up. He'll be commentating on the desk with us. Should be a lot of fun. And then on the side of Paladins,
we got Vox and Drybear coming out.
Yeah.
Vox casting most of the Paladins qualifiers. If you haven't checked them out, be sure to do so. He's honestly a pretty solid caster from just doing it shortly.
Yeah, he's a cool dude, and honestly, I don't really call that many people cool dudes. So Vox definitely earns my thumbs up. And then there's that Drybear guy. I don't really know too much about him.
Never heard of him.
I think he won a contest. They made me cast with him a little bit earlier.
Yeah, that guy.
So there was that.
Bloodshirk of Doom and the green backpack of excellence. I honestly, every time I see Wind Demon now, I don't think Wind Demon.
Yeah.
I think Bloodshirk of Doom, and I'm cursing Drybear for doing that to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can't just, I'll say, he's picking up the Wind Demon, just like...
Green backpack of excellence didn't stick for me. The other one didn't, but Blood Shuriken of Doom actually really did.
That's what we should just let him name all the items.
Let's just
based on the picture.
We'll see what happens with there. And again, before we go, last thing to mention, you can pick up some Smite clothing. Huge discount, 75% off. Pick it up, livebnfd.com. Go pick up all that stuff as well. Today is Saturday, which means tomorrow is Sunday, and the day after will be Monday. On Sunday, we get to see the Clowns take on Orange Dog Meme Sports, and then LG against NV, the 2-letter squads.
Envy and Randozo's guaranteed relegations, but they don't want to go out for free. They want to make sure to have some pretty good games to close out, so we'll see how they perform.
Yeah, it should be very interesting. Dust, of course, is going to be playing in the Hunter role as he did last time around. It was actually interesting. He went head-to-head against Zapman, and Zapman had some kind words to say about Dust's performance.
Yeah, he got the first blood and the double kill of the dual lane.
A legit first blood. No Sunder Talaria nonsense either.
Man.
So that was really cool to watch Envy play and see what they'll be able to bring towards the end of the season. Final thoughts on today?
Kind of unfortunate there for Cringe Crew, but Hungry for More, I think, are the better team overall. Even though they struggled early on, they closed out so well there, and I do think we have the 3 best European squads going.
Very happy with who we're going to see at DreamHack. Hopefully you're one of them as well. For everybody here at hi-rez, myself, Adonis, Anatoly, Hindu Man, of course, Pekis, and my favorite, Sobek. Have a Sobek Saturday.